Okay, I'm now going to demonstrate the third and final cache. This one here is a bit more complicated than the others, and the video will probably be a bit longer, but it's called Origami Rocks, and here is the description. Just like before, we are going to copy the relevant parts of this description to the clipboard. There we go. And we're going to paste those into our newly created cache. Set the cache coordinates and paste away. Now, what's unusual about this one is you can see that the equation is given as ab.cde and fg.hai. That's all pretty straightforward. We can click those in, no problem at all. But then the description goes on to say, that AB are 4 blue ostrowinks. It's not entirely clear what that means from the description, but when you go to the location itself, there's a sign there, and it becomes apparent that the sign lists all these native animals, fish, they're all aquatic animals, and specifies their size. And this value AB is meant to be a 2-digit number, which is 4 times by the size of a blue ostrowink. And likewise, CDE is the size of a leafy sea dragon, a cowfish, and a cone shell. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that first part. Now, what we've got entered here, obviously, are the 10 values as specified in the letters at the top, but really we're only after 4 values, and we do have a way of achieving this. So where it's got AB at the top here, if we do a long press on the B button, we can then enter a space, and you'll see it just completely disappears. And now the lettering jumps straight from A over the bank and into B. Obviously, you want that second letter though, the CDE, to begin with a C. So we'll do a long press, turn that into a C. There we go, and we shall blank these out, and we'll do the same for the other guys. All right. Now, it was meant to be A, C, and the last two are F and H. So we'll make you an F. We shall make you an H. And I'm also going to manually specify this one here just so they all look the same. There we go. We've now got 4 values, and as you can see, we've got 4 equations in the main part down here. And it's a matter of entering these equations, these expressions. So the first one, as I said before, it is 4 times the number of blue ostrowinks. So we're going to put in the value 4. We are going to multiply that by, and we'll use the variable a for the ostrowink. We kind of run out of letters here, so we need to get a little creative. The next one we have CDE, that is a leafy sea dragon plus a cowfish plus a cone shell. All right, so that was a leafy sea dragon plus a, what was it? It was a leafy sea dragon plus a cowfish. There we go. And now we are going to have to add to that the cone shell. Well, we've already used A, we've already used C, so we're going to call this one an S. There we are. Next, for FG, we need 2 blue-ringed octopus and a sand cockle. All right, so that's 2. For those of you who come from countries where the native fauna aren't always trying to kill you, might not be aware, but a blue-ringed octopus is actually a very deadly octopus. It's quite small. It's only, from memory, I think it was 12 centimeters in length, but it has these brilliant bright blue rings that show up when it becomes agitated, and it paralyzes its victims and most certainly can kill a human. I can assure you of that. And we also wanted a sand cockle to be added to that as well. There we go. F was 2 octopus and a sand cockle. Double check, 2 blue-ringed octopus and a sand cockle. Then finally, 7 is a cuttlefish, a coral fish, and a southern gobbleguts. So 7 cuttlefish. What have we got left? We're running out of letters, aren't we? A cuttlefish and a coral fish. This one, we'll just call that one an F, because we haven't used F yet. Surprising. All these things are fish and we haven't used F. And then finally we've got the great southern gobbleguts. There we go. So we've got all of these equations entered, all of these expressions. Now it's time to fill out the variable values. To do that, we are going to have a look at the actual sign itself. Fortunately, I got it right here. So the very first thing we are after, if you recall, it was the 4 blue ostrowinks. So I'll just zoom in here for you. The blue ostrowink, where is he? I'm pretty sure it's over this side. Probably infuriating some viewers who have seen it already. But I just can't find it. Oh my goodness. I actually practiced this beforehand, and I did have them all. Oh, dearie, dearie me. This is... There we go, right down the bottom here. Tiny little buggers. 4 blue ostrowinks at 1.5 centimeters. Alright, so let's put in a 1, a decimal point, and a 5. Next we are after L, which is a Leafy Sea Dragon. These are Leafy Sea Dragons are actually really beautiful animals. They're a seahorse. There it is. Not a great picture of it, but yeah, they're spectacular if you care to look up a photo. Very proudly South Australian. Anyway, Leafy Sea Dragon at 43 centimeters. 43 centimeters. Next we have ourselves a cowfish. These are fairly large. The ornate cowfish, 15 centimeters. Suppose it's not that large. It's a big picture though. Next we have ourselves the cone shell. This little fella is down here at 7 centimeters. The cone shell is 7 centimeters. Next, that's that blue-ringed octopus I mentioned before. Here he is. Blue-ringed octopus is, of course, 12 centimeters. What was you? You was a cuttlefish, was it? Blue-ringed octopus. That does not seem right at all. And a sandcockle. Did I put the sandcockle in there? I did. Oh, I've reused the value S. All right. So we're going to have to come up with a new name for that one. We are calling that an N. There we go. So now we've got our octopus down the bottom. This is our sandcockle over here. The sandcockle, they're quite small. 4 centimeters from memory? Yes, there he is. 4 centimeters on the sandcockle. Next we've got the U, which is the cuttlefish. Cuttlefish, I think these are massive. You probably know cuttlefish. They're famous throughout the world, kind of like squid. That one is 80 centimeters. That's by far the largest in this case. F was the coral fish. Ooh, where is this guy? I've kind of forgotten where he lived. There it is. 12 centimeters. 20, I mean, sorry, 20 centimeters. Pretty little fella. And last of all, we've got ourselves the southern gobbleguts, who is all the way over here. There we go. Southern gobbleguts at 14. Okay, now that we've entered all of that, we do indeed have a valid result down the bottom here. So normally I would double check that I've got all those values there, but for the video I'll just assume I got them right. Add it there. You can see these values have now been put in to the regular waypoint, and we shall save it. Click on the compass, and what do you know, we're still 8,000 miles away from Google. But I will just double check here on the map, and yeah, that's where the location is. It's right there, just on that little point. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and happy caching.